The story continues.
Epoch-Crossers. Part 3: Secrets of Old Rock and Roll. We entered Sector 3 with such a clang that it felt as if the year 2077 itself had decided to slap us. Sector 3 was living proof that analog stubbornness could defeat digital perfection. It was an area of old factories, garages, and warehouses, where everything seemed to be made of rusty metal and concrete, coated in a thick layer of graphite smoke. The taxi driver, our new unwitting ally, pulled into a narrow alley that I would call the Alley of Grimy Bliss. The speakers of his angular taxi were spitting out music so loud I felt like my dental fillings were about to fall out. "Is it noisy enough here?" I yelled, trying to shout over the guitar riff. The driver smiled, giving me a thumbs up. He was clearly enjoying the moment of analog chaos, venting his anger at the patrol. We jumped out of the car. Kira, a girl from 2142, where perfect cleanliness and silence reigned, looked as if she had been dipped in a vat of spent oil. "This vibration, this smell, it is incredibly non-organic," she whispered, covering her nose with the sleeve of her already imperfect jumpsuit. "That's called atmosphere, Kira. We need it." Ellis said the noise drowns out their sensors. I replied, peeling off another layer of old leather to try and adapt. I pulled out the bracelet, which was still glowing green. "Ellis, we're in Sector 3. What next?" Ellis appeared on the screen, her face worried. "Jake, you must find the Brown Noise Club. It's an underground bar that your grandfather used as a temporal reserve cell. It's literally built from old speakers and vinyl records. A perfect sound trap. The Brown Noise Club. How metaphorical," I muttered. "And hurry. The patrol has already calculated the trajectory of your taxi. Their slow, but persistent car is heading here." I cut the communication. We needed to find the club in this labyrinth of old pipes and trucks. Grandpa's compass in my pocket vibrated, pointing directly at Kira. "Kira, you're the key. Maybe your echo needs to react to the music somehow," I asked. She shrugged. "My bracelet in 2142 only played calming frequencies. I don't know how to react to this screeching." We ran. Running past a rusty warehouse, I noticed that Kira started behaving strangely. Her eyes, accustomed to the flawless 4K resolution of the future, suddenly started tearing up, but not from the smoke. "What's happening?" I asked. I feel it," she whispered. "This sound, it's not just noise. It's uneven, constantly changes. It's chaos, but it has a rhythm. My internal system, it's trying to recognize it." We came out into a square where a massive, abandoned factory stood. Right beneath its cracked wall was an inconspicuous but solid steel door with a single symbol, an old, worn vinyl record. "There it is. The Brown Noise," I said. I pressed the transit card against the door. "Nothing. We need a code," I whispered. "Or something related to the cherry." Just then, Kira grabbed my hand. Her already perfect jumpsuit started to pulse, changing color from sunset orange to a deep, throbbing violet. Energy was radiating from her. "My body, it's resonating," she said. "I think I know this rhythm. It's not just a song. It's a sequence." She ran to the door and started hitting the steel surface with her fist. But not chaotically. She hit it in a clear, frantic rhythm. Tum-tum, tum-tum-tum, tum-tum. It was a drum beat, the drumming at the very heart of old rock and roll. The door emitted a low, deep boom, perfectly in sync with the bass. Then there was the grinding of mechanisms, and the door slid open inward. Kira was breathing heavily. I think I just used my body as a punch card, based on a bass riff. That is the most illogical thing I have ever done in my life. "It's the most logical thing you've done since we met, Kira." I grabbed her hand, and we dove inside. Inside, it was dark and deafeningly loud. So loud that I felt relief. No patrol sensor could work here. It was a kind of bunker, lit only by dim neon lamps and spotlights. Behind a long bar made of old guitars stood Ellis, the same woman we talked to on the bracelet. She wasn't alone. There were 3 other people with her, all in worn clothes but with eyes full of determination. They were members of the temporal reserve. Praise the movement. You're here, Ellis shouted, barely audible over the roaring music. I pulled out the ampoule with the echo. We have the echo, and we have the key. She is the living anomaly that Grandpa's compass points to. Ellis looked at Kira, who was still slightly pulsating with violet light. Just like the old eccentric. Ellis slammed her fist on the bar. He didn't leave the key inside someone. He left the key in the DNA of someone born in a perfect, stable time. Kira, you're the antibody to perfect stability. An antibody that needs a nap, Kira muttered. What am I supposed to do with this echo? You must activate it, Ellis explained. This ampoule is pure energy of movement. But to start the cycle, it needs a pure emotion, not synthesized, not calculated. An energy that doesn't exist in 2142. Emotion? Which one? I asked. Love, Ellis replied, pointing to Grandpa's note. The key is within you. Love. Your grandfather wasn't sentimental. It was an engineering calculation. I looked at Kira. We had only known each other for a couple of hours, but in that time we had escaped the patrol, violated temporal integrity, and crashed into trash cans. We shared panic and adrenaline. Love for what? Kira, true to a person from the perfect future, was completely unromantic. Just then, the music's roar briefly subsided, and we heard a sound outside. The slow but relentless approach of the patrol car. They had found the club. No time, I shouted. It doesn't have to be romantic love, Kira. Could be love for freedom, love for movement, for chaos. I looked her straight in the eyes. I remembered how she laughed when I called myself grounded, and how her eyes lit up when she first felt the adrenaline in the taxi. You hate the boring perfection of 2142. Kira, your jumpsuit changes color with your mood, but you never allowed yourself a real, strong feeling. You ran away with me because you loved this chaos, this movement. You're not an antibody. You are the ignition. I placed the ampoule in her hand. Kira looked at the ampoule, then at me. Her violet jumpsuit flashed and turned absolutely pure white, as if all her internal energy had gathered at one point. An emotion I couldn't read crossed her face, but it was strong, real, and unsynthesized. She pressed the ampoule to her chest, right where her pulse was, and closed her eyes. Inside the club, it suddenly became silent. The music stopped.
Sector 3 froze.
Then a clean, powerful sound erupted from Kira. It wasn't a scream or a moan. It was pure, vibrating, analog energy that hit us like a tsunami. The floor beneath us trembled. The ampoule in her hand glowed gold. The liquid inside boiled and evaporated, turning into a pillar of golden light that pierced the club's roof. Outside, there was a loud crash and the screech of metal. Ellis fell to her knees. It worked. The cycle is restarted. Time is moving again. When the golden light faded, Kira opened her eyes. They were full of tears, but a truly alive smile played on her lips for the first time. I feel it, Jake, she whispered. I feel the world moving again. It's not stability. It's better than all the synthesized feelings I knew. I smiled back.
Listen to the continuation in part 4.